US Highway 87. Yeah. Alright, US Highway 87 goes to like good towns like San Antonio, Lubbock, Amarillo, Colorado Springs, Denver, Fort Collins, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Billings, Montana. Like, these are good towns for US Highway 87. Is that the Bite of 87 reference from FNAF? So here's US Highway 87. It'll go Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana. So we get Montana for our first time. So we get US Highway 87 begins. So this is where we get mentioned for US Highway 87. Alright, we get US Highway 59. 59 South gets mentioned, so we're getting 87. We get US Highway 77 as we're leaving Victoria, Texas. Now we get US Highway 183 joining us. So we get alternate US Highway 77. And now we're losing US Highway 183. We had its short concurrency with US Highway 183. We get Interstate 410, which we're heading into San Antonio. Downtown San Antonio. So we get a Whataburger mentioned. And there's another Whataburger, so we're about to join Interstate 10 and US Highway 90. So we get US Highway 281 for Johnson City and Corpus Christ. Oh, it's Christian. Corpus Christian. So we get El Paso for Interstate 10 West and Del Rio for US 90 West. Now we're losing US 90, so we're about to join Interstate 35. We get for Laredo and Austin. So 10 West will get El Paso. And we're going to be losing Interstate 35, which it's signed for Austin. We should get Austin's the alright choice. We should get like Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. So we get US 87 and Interstate 10 West for El Paso. You can see six flags over there. And we're losing Interstate 10. And we're signed for Fredericksburg and San Angelo. Now we're about to join US Highway 290. And we're losing US Highway 290. And we're signed for Mason, Texas. We should get like Lubbock and Amarillo. We get US Highway 377 mentioned. And yes, US Highway 377 joins us. Now we're going to be losing US Highway 377. So we get a mention for US 190. And we get a mention for US Highway 283. In Eden, we're getting US Highway 83. So we get a Dairy Queen over there. Now we're joining US Highway 277. It says 2 US 67 in Big Lake. Oh, yeah. Why are we getting a joke of 6-7? Come on, guys. Now we're losing US Highway 277. It'll join US Highway 67. 87 will head to Lubbock. We get Interstate 20. That should have been Dallas and Fort Worth. And we get El Paso for Interstate 20. We get US Highway 180, which it's joining us. We're losing US Highway 180. So 87 will head into Lubbock. We get US Highway 380. Now we're on Interstate 27. So we get a mention for US 84. Which 62 is mentioned somewhere. And yes, we get US Highway 62 for Loveland. And we get US Highway 82. Because we know 62, 82, and 84 meets in Lubbock. 87 joins up with Interstate 27. And we get US Highway 70. Which this is the former of Interstate 27. And we're splitting off with Interstate 27, so US 87 would head into Amarillo. And we're joining back with Interstate 27 north. And we get US 60 for Amarillo, so we get Hereford and Amarillo. It says to Interstate 27. We get Interstate 40 and US Highway 287. It is signed for Oklahoma City and Fort Worth, and it's signed for Albuquerque. And US 87, 287, and 60 are signed for Pampa. After losing US Highway 60, after losing US Highway 287, so 87 be turning left, so we already joined US Highway 287 in Amarillo, so we're losing it. Now we're going to be joining US Highway 385, Channing. We get US Highway 54, so right now US 385 will be splitting off. And we're losing US Highway 385, so 87 will head up to New Mexico. And welcome to New Mexico. In Clayton, we get US Highway 412 and 56. So US 64 might join us. 64. And we're splitting off with US Highway 64, so we're going to join Interstate 25 as the former of US Highway 85. And welcome to the colorful Colorado. We don't have anything for Trinidad. And US 160 is joining us. And we're losing US Highway 160, so we're going to skip the rest of US 85 video, which we already done the video of US Highway 85, so let's just skip it. We get Interstate 76 for Grand Junction and Fort Morgan, so we'll be heading into Fort Collins. For US Highway 87 and Interstate 25. We get US Highway 36 for Boulder, and we're signed for Fort Collins for Interstate 25. We get US Highway 34 for Loveland and Greeley. And welcome to Wyoming. And we get Casper for Interstate 25 North. And we get Sydney for US 85 and Interstate 80 East. For Sydney, not Slidey. Sydney. Interstate 80 West is signed for Laramie. So 80 East is for Sydney, not Slidey. Sydney. Alright, there's US Highway 26, so we haven't got it mentioned for the sign, for US Highway 26. Oh, we get US Highway 26 for Torrington. We get US Highway 18 and US Highway 20 for Lusk. Skipping the rest of Casper, because it's long, because we already split off with US Highway 26. I'm not trying to film very long because Buffalo and Sheridan for US Highway 87 and Interstate 90. So we're about to join Interstate 90. 16 is time for Buffalo. And yes, Interstate 25 ends, so we're about to join Interstate 90 for Sheridan. After splitting off with the Interstate 90, we're in Sheridan. Now we're going to join back with Interstate 90. It says US Highway 14 mentioned. Here we are, and welcome to Montana. This is our first time doing a US highway in Montana. So we get US Highway 212 for Little Big Horn Battlefield and Bordas. We get Interstate 94, where it will begin in Bismarck. So now we're getting Billings. Now we're going to say goodbye to Interstate 90, so we're heading into Lockwood and Roundup. What is that? Is that Highway 312? Okay, so we're splitting off with Highway 312, so US 87 is turning left. And we're meeting the real US Highway 12. So we're joining US Highway 12. In Roundup, we're losing US Highway 12. We're signed for Lewistown for US Highway 87. We are now joining US Highway 191, and we're losing US Highway 191. So US 87 is staying straight. Now we're joining US Highway 80, so we get mentioned for US Highway 89. Here we are in Great Falls. That is awesome. And US Highway 87 ends on US Highway 2. So that is it for my US Highway 87 video. Tomorrow my US 50 Part 4 is coming out. And we'll do US Highway 10. And then Friday we're doing US Highway 70. That is Part 1 for US Highway 70. So, peace out with US Highway 87. And also we're doing US Highway 87 on Friday. So, peace out.